Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. Silver Springs police were dispatched to the Best Western Motel on Shannon Road in reference to a disturbance Saturday. Juveniles involved in the disturbance were sitting in the motel lobby when police arrived. Ashley Ann Walden, age 38, told officers she'd been arguing with her children all day and the children had called their dad to, quote, come pick them up. The officer spoke with the juveniles, who stated that the daughter and mother had been in a fight and that the brother had, quote, jumped in the middle of it, unquote. The officer observed scratches on the son's face and behind his ears and bruising on his right cheek. After the investigation, it was determined that Walden had been the aggressor. She was arrested at the time, placed in Hopkins County Jail, charged with injury child criminal negligence. She's being held on a $10,000 bond. Traffic stop on Farm to Market Road 69 and State Highway 11 by Hopkins County deputy resulted in the arrest of Brandy Franklin, age 24, of Tyler, for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. Franklin showed signs of nervousness and would not look at the officer when he was speaking to her. Consent to search the vehicle was given by the driver, and that led to a glass pipe commonly used to smoke methamphetamine. In fact, Franklin claimed ownership of that pipe immediately, even before being asked. The pipe had been freshly loaded. Also during the search, a female jailer found a plastic baggie containing suspected methamphetamine on Franklin's person. Franklin was booked into Hopkins County Jail and released on bond. May 6th is a busy day for voters in the school board elections in Como-Picton, Mount Vernon, and Yantis. Kim Attaway Wright and Kyle Peaks filed before the deadline Friday afternoon for the Como-Picton School Board. There are 3 positions on the May 6th ballot for Como-Picton. There are 9 candidates for those 3 positions. In Yantis, there are 5 that have filed for full terms available on the Yantis School Board. 3 have filed for the unexpired term. And in Mount Vernon, 3 positions on the May 6th ballot. 12 candidates have filed. For Silver Springs schools, the 2 incumbents filed. There will be no election for Silver Springs Independent School District Board. The 2 incumbents only filing, they will be named to the positions. Silver Springs FFA members will be participating in the NETLA sale that takes place Thursday, Friday, and the Sale of Champions on Saturday. The competition to gain position to the Sale of Champions is very strict, strenuous, and intensive. We talked to them and their sponsor about the activity.
Philip Rader.
Marissa Greenway.
Blaine Flemons.
Melissa Everett.
Ms. Everett, tell us about your class and preparations for NETLA.
Well, so I teach floral design, horticulture, vet med, and small animal management. The classes that really help with NETLA are the small animal management and the vet med classes. And the projects I'm in charge of, the lambs and the goats, we have been working for NETLA all the way back August for some kids. Some kids even got their lambs or goats June or July. So this has been a 8 month working towards this big 3-day extravaganza that is going on next week. So we're really excited.
Let's talk about how veterinary science, as you teach it in high school, how that relates to what you're doing.
Yeah, so in my class we do basic animal terms, anatomy and physiology. We get into some handling, restraint, and then we even touch on simple things like subdermal injections and everything. So it gives the students knowledge of how to take care of an animal, so that way if one day if they want to go work for a vet or even go through the school and become a vet, and then with their NETLA animal project can be like another experience that can add on to that.
Horticulture doesn't have anything to do with going grass farm to graze or anything?
I mean, it could. And then there's also, if you go beyond that with advanced plant and soil science, which I don't have this year, but possibly next year, then we really do get into growing times and different seasons and what kind of works good on this type of soil versus this, and then applying fertilizers, and if we need to apply pesticides and all of that, which eventually you'll be able to grow your own hay to feed your animal. So
How do you hold them accountable for the work that they do in preparing for NETLA?
I truly believe that the animal show projects, the end goal that we're looking for is responsibility. If you learn that this is an animal that you take care of, that you have put in the hours, you've put in the time and effort, and then with the end result of that being you might get first in your class, but you might get last in your class. But the end result that I want all of my students to learn is the responsibility and the experience of caring for a living animal and getting to this end point of the county show.
Did you ever do anything like this?
I did. I showed goats mainly, and then there was one year that I did a pig, and that was fun, but I didn't do it again.
That 1 year, right?
Yeah, just 1 year. Just 1 year. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Lane, tell us about your project.
I'm showing chickens for the NETLA show.
Okay, and showing poultry is a unique experience, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
What do you do with them?
Well, you have to make sure that they have enough feed and be sure that they have plenty of water. Then you need to go out there to make sure that they get up and that they eat and drink a lot of water.
So chickens are lazy?
Yes. When they get to those last few days, they're real lazy. 'Cause they're the biggest then.
All right. What are judges looking for in poultry?
Well, you have to show 3 chickens, and he wants like a big breast and to make sure and try to get them all 3 to match.
Okay. And is that hard or easy?
It's kind of both. It's pretty hard because it's kind of hard to get all of them to eat the same amount of feed and drink the same amount of water all the time.
I can imagine. Do genetics play anything with these chickens? I mean, does it have a role in these chickens, the ability of growth for that chicken?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And do you look for that? Do you look at that when you're choosing the chickens?
You don't really choose the chickens because everybody gets the chickens from the same place.
Okay. All right. How many do you get at a time?
25 apiece. Like everybody gets 25 apiece.
All right. Why 25?
So, because some of them may die out from whenever you get them to whenever you show them.
All right. So you're running some heavy risk when you're
Yes.
doing chickens, aren't
Yes.
you? Yeah, pinning them up is not the end of the ball game, is it?
No, sir.
I understand. Marissa, tell us about your project.
I'm showing a pig this year. Pigs are a lot of work. They need a lot of attention and they're very playful, like big personalities. But with showing pigs, it takes a lot of hours in with them. You have to feed them morning, night, walk them 2 times a day, make sure they have plenty of water, lots of water. Pigs sunburn easy, so you have to make sure their skin's good. You gotta bathe them at least 2 or 3 times a week. Pigs are a lot of work, but they're super fun. I would not trade my pig for anything.
How many years have you done pigs?
This is my first year doing a pig. I've usually done chickens, and
I was going to say, you were nodding your head as he was talking about the chickens.
Yes.
Here. Why did you leave chickens?
actually, I wanted to try to get for a bigger project. I've done chickens for 2 years in a row, like my freshman and sophomore year, and my brother wanted to do chickens this year. So I said, okay, I'll do a pig instead because I wanted to be different. And so I moved away from that. I was like, let's do a bigger animal.
But in looking at the sale prices and so forth, and Blaine, I'm going to kind of go back to you for just a second. A lot of times the chickens kind of bring in more dollars than some of the others, don't
Yes, yes, sir. Because on most of the chickens, since they're a smaller animal, they don't have to eat as much, and so most of the time, if you you don't have to spend that much on feed and supplies and stuff like that.
they? Reimbursement
So-
for your labor is,
Yes.
is the big thing, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a higher return on investment.
Yes.
What are you planning to do? I know you want to get into the sale of champions,
Yes, sir.
obviously. What do you want to do with the money?
I'm gonna save it for college to further my education after high school.
All right, and what are you going to major in?
I'm probably gonna. I want to be a welder.
Okay, and no chickens involved, right?
No, sir.
And where do you plan to do your training?
Probably at a trade school. I haven't decided where I want to go yet.
Okay, all right. And getting that swine into the sale of champions, what do you want to do with the money?
Okay, so what I want to do with the money, I want to save it up, and I want to see if I can do a major show next year with another pig.
Oh, okay.
So
We're going for the big bucks,
big,
right?
yes.
Did you grow up on a farm, or are you growing
Yes,
up?
I grew up on a farm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So farming is a gamble, so you're already into the farm gamble of life, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What do you guys raise in your farm?
Cows. We have cows, chickens, pigs, and donkeys.
Oh, okay. There's no division for those. And Phil, what's your check?
I show a steer for county. Big panda, basically.
And what goes in? How labor intensive is it? I guess I should say.
I don't know. It's pretty hard. You have to walk it when it gets closer to show. About 2 months out of show, you ought to be doing this, but you need to start upping your game. Basically, you need to start working it more. And steers, from the time you get them to the time they show, you have to wash them 2 to 3 times a week just to make sure their hair is good to when you trim them. And their feed is the biggest expense you have there, besides hauling.
Right. Okay. And if you get in the sale of champions, what are you going to do with the money?
I want to buy another heifer, or I don't. This last year was my first year showing steers. I did pretty good with that one, so I saved money to get another steer this year, and I already have enough saved up for another steer next year. So if I get in the sale of champions, my this year's winnings is going to go to a heifer next year.
Right. And show Netla and in other places too.
Yes, sir. I want to take the heifer to Fort Worth and Houston. So, because you can't really take a steer to Houston if you make the sale
Okay.
in Silver Springs.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Growing up on a farm?
Yes, sir.
And on your farm?
Oh, we have a little bit of everything. We have goats, pigs, cows. We used to have guinea pigs. They all died. Sad.
Let's not tell the steer. Washing a steer, how hard?
Oh, gosh. How hard? Well,
Great job.
about a 2 to 3 hour job.
Okay. All right.
Just because you have to make sure all the soap's off the steer and make sure you have scrubbed every part of it because you don't want any problems with the skin, stuff like that, because it can cause skin diseases and stuff like that, which doesn't look good in a show ring.
Compared to washing a car?
The car doesn't move.
The car doesn't move.
You were talking about bathing a pig, and that's got to be an experience.
Oh, my pig's kind of weird. You know those dogs that bark at the water? That's what my pig does. She'll sprint up to the water hose and like run into it. So she's really easy to bathe. But getting her to stay still when you're scrubbing her is the hard part. Because if you start scrubbing her back, she'll roll over and then roll in the mud. So you gotta do it quick, or else she's gonna go right back to the mud.
And you're back to square one.
And you're back to square one.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Lady Cats softball team won 4 out of 5 games in a Sulphur Springs tournament this past weekend. The Lady Cats lost to Mesquite Poteet, but they defeated Gilmer, Royce City, Fort Worth Christian, and McKinney. After the Lady Cats' last game, that 8-1 win over McKinney Saturday, I talked with Lady Cats coach David Carrillo.
Well, you know, it's always a great opportunity to get to host, and I guess one of the greatest things, too, was getting to showcase this place. Great compliments on the field. Everybody loved it. They, asking lots of questions, and, it was just a good place for them to come out and play, and they really had a good time. And like I said, they enjoyed the facilities, the new facilities, so it was a good time for everybody.
4-1 for the Lady Cats, and pretty good showing, ran into Mesquite Poteet, but other than that, did very well.
Yes, I thought we played very well. There's some little things that we still have to work out and iron out, but it's still early. Like I said, I think, sometimes you get that thing, and I said it earlier, everybody wants to pick up where you left off, but you wish it would be like that, but it's not. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of time, but, I can see some good things coming around with our bat. I think our short game is really, really coming around. We're playing a really good small ball, and our pitching, we're getting all that figured out too. Because, like I said, we really, we have the new pitcher with Allie, and then we still have Bailey and Landry, and you still kind of know what they can do. But again, it's a new year, so you got to kind of figure that stuff out. So I'm real pleased the way with everybody's what we're doing so far. There's little things on defense we had some hiccups on against Poteet, but we fixed them. shout out Macy Hollins. Had to throw her behind the plate. She didn't know she was going back there till Thursday morning. Tell you what, she did awesome. Great job. She went back up there and sucked it up and did a great job hitting and getting back there for 5 games is that's pretty tough, you know. And we had, you know, that was it. Macy get after it, and she did. She stepped up today this tournament, and I'm really proud of her.
Grand Slam home run.
Yes, Grand Slam home run against Fort Worth Christian, and great bunts, great short game that she played yesterday. And like I said, just to go back there behind the plate under those conditions of not knowing, you know, you're just going back there and going to have to know, hey, you're going to catch 5 games today or this weekend, and she did a great job with it.
With the McKinney game here, Bailey Haggerty, three-hitter,
yes.
gave up 1 run and struck out 10. How about that?
Yeah, she threw outstanding today. She's kind of picking up where she left off. So again, that's a good thing for us because you know, we always talk about it all the time. You have to develop pitching and you have to develop everything. You know, right now, because you know when it goes down to in the long run, you need as much pitching as you can. Because you get there with the same girl and you roll the dice with one, it gets hard sometimes. Because if they're not performing well, you don't have an option to get out of it. But with us, I feel like we do.
Not a lot of hits today, but some huge timely hits. Jay Dowdy had a 2 RBI single. Macy had a run-scoring single, and Brinkley Driver hits one that's still up in the air. I think.
Yeah, she blasted that one. You just can kind of see it coming. There's something about her when she gets up to the plate. You just know something's going to happen. So, you know, she's been a great addition for us last year. So I'm thankful that we have her on our team. And like I said, she can bomb it when she has to. You just set the table and let her clean it off. So she does a great job.
Allen tournament next for you, more of the same, I guess, some good competition.
Yes, and that's what makes us better. You know, hopefully we'll clean some things up. I know what we kind of need to clean up. I got a list, and we'll clean them up in practice and go over there and play at Allen and get after it again.
The Hallsville Bobcats defeated the Wildcat soccer team 5-4 Friday night in a shootout after the 2 teams ended up tied 1-1 after regulation and overtime. The Wildcats' first kicker in the shootout, Brandon Diosdado, had his shot blocked by the Bobcats' goalkeeper. The other 4 Wildcats kickers scored, as did all 5 Hallsville kickers. Hallsville scored the game's first goal at 25:39 of the first half. Just over 5 minutes later, at 20:31, Wildcat Chris Espinoza scored on a penalty kick after the Bobcats committed a foul in the big box. Neither team could score during the second half and during both halves of overtime. The Wildcats ended up the first half of district play with 1 win, 2 shootout losses, and 3 outright losses. And the Wildcats are now 8-4-3 for the season. The Wildcats will open the second half of district play at home as they will play host to Pine Tree next Tuesday. The Pirates were too much for the Wildcats, winning 5-1 at home back on January 27th. The Lady Cats soccer team had trouble with Hallsville corner kicks in a 4-1 loss at Hallsville Friday night. The Lady Cats are now 4-2 in district play and 9-5-2 overall, and I talked about that Hallsville loss with Lady Cats soccer coach Jesus De Leon.
Well, it was actually a really even game. You know, it was very back and forth. They had a lot of opportunities. We had lots of opportunities. Really, the big difference is that they were able to, make their corner kicks count. And, I had seen them play on Wednesday, and I knew that we were needed to minimize their free kicks because they had a girl that was very good at free kicks, and they were very organized on their corner kicks, and they were. And I also remember that last year when we played them, they scored twice on corner kicks on us. Mm-hmm. And, so we were weary of that. And so, sure enough, that's really how they got 4 goals, mm-hmm. but three of the goals were off of corner kick situations. Now, the first one was just an amazing goal. The young lady went up, and, looked like a pro. Credit to her. I think that we could have done a little better on the other 2 corner kicks. We had a little, once they scored that first one, I think we got a little anxious on corner kick situations and maybe tried to do a little bit too much. And so, the bottom line is we gave up 2 more corner kicks on goals. And then on the last goal, I told Joe McMillan goes forward for us, and I told her, Joe, just go, just get forward, try to get us a goal. That's more important. If they counter, then it's on me. And so they countered, and they were able to get in behind. Like I said, other than that, it was very even game. We all had lots of opportunities. They were just able to, like I said, make those corner kicks count. We had our one goal that Taylor Robinson took a nice shot. There was a rebound, and Gracie, as she's been there lately, she got on the end of it to score it. And so just a little time, without us kind of noticing, Gracie's like crept up, and now she's got 8 goals for the season. So she's doing really great. And like I said, it's one of those games that when you were done at the end of the game, we're kind of scratching our head a little bit because if you saw the score and you saw the game, it didn't quite match up. I mean, you would have seen clearly why they won, but it just seemed a little unfair, a little lopsided. But so today I was pointing out to the girls that we've allowed 6 goals, and 4 of them have been on corner kicks, and just to extend it a little further, the JV was also winning their game 1-0, and they gave up a kick on a goal on a corner kick. So obviously that's where we have room to grow, and that's what we need to do.
When we scored, what was the score before we scored?
It was 3-0 at that point.
3-0. Okay.
Yeah, so we pulled in 3-1, and then Grace, yeah. But like I said, it was when we went in, we were concerned about the way they were going to play against us in 3 areas. How they like to stretch and create one-on-ones, create mismatches, free kick opportunities, and the corner kick opportunities. And so we were able to, the girls adapted really well, and we were able to execute the game plan on not getting stretched out and not being overloaded. They did a really great job of that. We did a great job of the free kick situation because we knew the young lady and she didn't surprise us, so we were prepared for her. She had her opportunities, but because we were prepared for her, she didn't surprise us. The only thing is the third aspect of that was the corner kicks. I was really concerned about the corner kicks, and that's where we fell a little short. But we played well, but we still have room to grow.
Yeah. Start of the second half of district play now, and you go to Pine Tree on Tuesday.
Yeah, Pine Tree. Like I said, it's always tough. We've gone to overtime. The first time we ever played them, they beat us, but every other time we've gone to some sort of overtime. One time we went all the way to penalty kicks, and the other 2 times we have gone to overtimes and we're able to win in overtime. So I expect it to be a difficult game, as it always is against them, and they're going to be playing at home, and so it's up for a challenge. But I think I just tell the ladies this, that no team is good enough to give stuff for free, and unfortunately in that Hallsville game we gave away some things. So as long as we don't just give away things, we have the talent and the drive to do well.
The Saltillo Lady Lions basketball team advanced to the regional quarterfinals with an area round win over Ector, 33-24. The Lady Lions jumped out to a 12-5 first quarter lead in the game. Madison Simmons led the Lady Lions with 9 points. Tori Mobley scored 6 points. Melissa Gronwold and Sienna Collins added 5 points apiece. Jocelyn Ochoa had 3 points and Anna Gallegos 2 points. The Lady Lions will play Slidell next in Trenton in regional quarterfinal action. Meanwhile, the Saltillo Lions lost a warm-up game for the playoffs against Crossroads 46-31. A bad second half did the Lions in as they trailed only 22-21 after the first 2 quarters. Lyle Bench scored 7 points to lead the Lions. Walker McGill scored 6 points. Trevor Moore and Michael Simmons had 4 points apiece, and Clayton Wilson scored 2 points. The Lions are now 18-15. They'll play the winner of a Tuesday Forestburg and Dodge City game in the playoffs. Coach went to Tyler for a tournament on Friday.
Yes, we did. It was a good day. It started out with rain, slowed us down for about 2 hours. Then we got going about 11:30. The results were good. We didn't finish high on the tournament part, but we did finish having good win matches over Hallsville, having good wins over Greenville, having good wins over Mount Pleasant, to help in our seating meeting when we go to district tournament. So there were a lot of key wins that were very, very significant for us to win, from this past weekend. So we did well. In the small things. Didn't finish too well after about the second or third round. It was still a tough tournament with White House. It was some good, Robert E. Lee. Yeah. Tough team. They had super champs up, and we ran into them about the third round type of deal. Mm-hmm. But we got a good win over the Garland team, Rowlett. And we were really happy with that too, because they're coming to our tournament, so we were able to get some wins, get some seating information for what these tournaments are about, trying to go in there and win some good matches.
Name some of your players that had some good wins.
Well, the boys doubles, we ended up coming up. That's going to be, I guess, Alex Benitez and Jonah Kirkpatrick. They will be playing doubles together. Seems like they're going to be our representatives maybe for district, and they are playing strong right now. I have mixed doubles. I have Jasmine Johnson and Tyler Stout. Tyler had been playing with Alex Benitez, but they also proved well and had some good matches, playing this past weekend too. Also, Jesse Allen, our boys singles, he had a win over the Mount Pleasant young man from Dakota. That was also a very significant win for us to win. To get said, like I said, we'll be in the top 4 spots in those seedings. That's what we're fighting for, at least get one of those top 4 spots. And we're, can get a good draw and make it to the second day at district.
Yeah. I think you're going back to Tyler with the varsity on this Friday, right?
Yes, we have John Tyler's tournament. Still another significant, there's like 12 teams there, and it'll be a strong tournament. White House will still be there. They have a tough doubles team, and that's who we've been going after for the past couple of weeks. And, a lot of other new teams that will be involved too. Jacksonville, Nacogdoches, those are the teams that we don't normally get to play, so it's given our players some different views, on the court.
Yeah. You're looking at the sky today. You're optimistic that you have a JV tournament that you're hosting here at our beautiful tennis center, and you're gearing up for that for tomorrow.
Right now, that's all I'm doing today is getting prepared for this. The players are ready to play. I'm just, I think this is all going to move out this afternoon, and we should be set to play for tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
How many teams are you expecting?
I have 8 teams coming in.
Oh, okay.
So we have a good 16 draws on each thing. So there'll be plenty of play throughout the day. We'll be using just the high school courts tomorrow.
Somebody's interested, they can come out. What time you'll be starting on that?
9 o'clock tomorrow morning. 9 o'clock. We'll be there throughout the day. I figure we'll be winding up hopefully between 4 and 5 o'clock.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.